I live.
Hey, what's up guys? Massleaf here, back to do a cast of a tournament series between Phoenix and One Vision. Now, One Vision has just come fresh, beating me in a best of 3 in the loser brackets, and he is going to be up here playing as the GDI. It is a vanilla only tournament, so we can only expect to see GDI vanilla, not vanilla of course, Scrin vanilla. Gonna go for those 2 spikes because of course you've got 2 spikes adjacent to your base, and down here we can see Phoenix playing as vanilla Scrin. Phoenix deciding to opt for that vanilla Scrin. It's not random, it's not it was a predetermined matchup. Both of these guys know what they're going to be. And Vision, he did pretty well versus me. I went for a fast hexapod, but Vision getting those EMP grenades, of course, that shuts that strategy down really well. I went for a really weird Seeker timing push as well on his second base, but I forgot if I had to start training Seekers on 5 harvesters or 6 harvesters for the timing push to work. He had defense already to stop that, so yeah, obviously I done it wrong because in the past I had that build down to a formula basically. Down here we can see Phoenix not going for any disintegrator shenanigans in this game. He's just going to play stock standard, and up here we can see One Vision going to do more or less the same. It is a tournament. The guys, these guys will probably have the nerves on them right now, and I did lose again to One Vision as Scrin. So if Phoenix beats One Vision as Scrin in this game, then he is already of course going to show that he is more able with this faction than I am. And gonna go for the spike. Wow, that's a lot of disintegrators actually. I would have expected a little less. I didn't actually pick up the fact that he was going for those disintegrators. Getting 6 to 7 squads in there. Gonna destroy both the spikes. Vision's gonna have an APC though. Garrison with a rifle. He should be able to clean these up, but yeah, he's gonna have to micro, especially around this area here, where he can get his APC caught out around the corner. Yeah, it's going to all be determined on how quickly One Vision can do that reverse move, throwing down the minefield a bit too preemptively, in my opinion. That will force the disintegrators to briefly stop shooting the spike because they want to kill this APC, of course. Can he get the APC kill? Oh, yes, he can. Oh my god, that was massive. He gets the APC kill, and that is going to be GG, I think. One Vision not on top of that micro. A lot of disintegrators there, actually. I thought there was a little less than that. Of course, vanilla Scrin disintegrators are slightly weaker than their Trav equivalents because Trav disins have a slight armor nerf versus gun damage alone. They are still good versus rocket damage, etc. That means that in Scrin mirrors, Traveler disins are still going to be on par with Scrin disins if the two were to engage one another. But in this matchup versus gun-type weaponry such as APCs and rifle squads, you're going to do pretty well versus those Trav disins. Not so much versus the Scrin vanilla disins though. And One Vision going to have to spend more resources on killing these disintegrator squads. These disins paying off immensely for Phoenix. And is Phoenix going to take a quick game 1 in this best of 3 series? It is best of 3 because it is the loser brackets. So that is one thing to consider here. Whoever loses in this bracket will be out of the tournament. It is a cash prize tournament. There is $200 up for grabs in this tournament. With BikeRush owns, I think, in the... I don't even know where he is right now, but as far as I know, he's not knocked out right now. Of course, when this video goes up and live, the tournament will be over. Not sure if Green Zero or any of the casters will cast these games, but yeah, these games are live, by the way. I'm casting this live as it's happening. I do like to do that more than casting the replays. Replays are alright, but it's nice catching the action in the heat of the moment. You can see the player reactions and all that, the mind games in particular, when they are in the lobby. Anyway, looks like we got a tier 2 for One Vision, going for that AP ammo upgrade. Is he going to go for that tier 3 right now? Probably for Firehawks. He should probably get his airfield down before the tier 2, so he can research that Stratofighter upgrade before getting his Firehawks up. But maybe that'll give away too much intel to Phoenix. He'll see the airfield when in advance. So maybe this is well played to One Vision. He'll see... Oh, actually, no, he's going for the refinery. Of course, that does take 30 seconds to build. Each one of these guys looks like they have been leeching the blue Tiberium field. Gunwalker's on the cards for Phoenix. Phoenix right now, he's going for Crane build, which is really odd. Why is he so behind in this game? I don't understand. He went for a Crane. He's going to get double ref down there, but One Vision... He's already got what he needs to defend versus Gunwalkers and Seekers. Scrin, Vanilla, they really need their tier 3 versus GDI because their tier 3 is the weakest in the game. Skrins, that is, until you get tier 3, and then you got tripods, which are the best tier 3 walker in the game. Full load of blue Tiberium going to escape. That's going to be a nice pickup for One Vision, going to reap the rewards of that tip field. 2,800 credits going to him right now. And he's going for Hammerhead's really peculiar choice, considering how he's versus Skrin. I would probably go for Firehawks and try and deny that tier 3, and then you can endlessly kill tier 1 units off Skrin. But One Vision deciding not to do that. Orca Strike does come in for One Vision. He's going to find the growth stimulator, taken out, and that's one reason why I don't build the growth stimulators, is because the Orca Strike can one-shot it. One Vision, of course, knowing that, using the Orca Strike, putting that Orca Strike to good use. That's 1,500 credits down the drain. Going for Zone Troopers, this is interesting. Is he going to get the upgrades for his Zone Troopers? Yes, he has already got it. It's the Scanner Pack upgrade. It does confer more range to the Zone Trooper squad, and that's going to allow those Zone Trooper heads to kite Gunwalkers, essentially. If Phoenix wants to contend with that, he's going to have to go for either Mechapeds, or he's going to have to go for a secondary MCV. If I was him, I'll probably go for that secondary MCV, because it's just simply more reliable with the Shard Anti-Air to kill those Zone heads. They can't kite as well. And I have a few macro keys for adjusting the volume up and down, which is really, really handy. And I'm just going to adjust that volume real quick because it is pretty loud. Going for the Zone Troopers. I'm not sure if Phoenix is onto this right now. He's gonna have Gunwalkers out. He's gonna go for that upgrade as well. He urgently needs the Shards upgrade, but I don't know if Phoenix has enough to kill the Marv, because the Marv's gonna come out in a moment. And that could be a big problem for him. Triple War Factory, or Warp Sphere in Skrin's case for Phoenix. He's going for tripods, but against those zone heads, that's going to do absolutely nothing for Phoenix. And I think One Vision in this game is looking exceptionally good. One Vision going to be doing really well in this game. 2-3 Gunwalkers getting destroyed, and I think this could be bad news for Phoenix right now. He's going to move his drone ship forward. He could probably do something with these tripods against the Marv if he got his stasis shield. So he needs to build a stasis chamber, get that stasis shield, put it on the Marv, and then he can walk up to the Marv and just close range EMP that. Getting 2 or 1 shatter a kill, which is nice. Every unit does count though. He'll probably get his shields upgrade soon. That is definitely going to hurt him, not having that shield upgrade. The Marv going to get some freebies, but no, Phoenix listening to me, going for that stasis shield. There is 2 Juggernauts out though. Can Phoenix walk straight to the Juggernauts? Yes, he can. The zone heads though, they need to be where this is happening right now, and these Juggernauts are going to get killed for free. I don't think that One Vision has enough to stop this. He's going to have his Marv EMP'd right now. There's nothing that he can do, I don't think, to stop this. He's going to get that Marv EMP straight away, and that is going to be it. The Sonic emitter does come down, but yeah, he has to be really careful, Phoenix, though. There is more Juggernauts for One Vision, and this may be a bit of a donation to One Vision. The Juggernauts here going to get all the damage dealt on these tripods, and I think when the husks are unable to be destroyed for Phoenix, he's going to be finding himself in a really bad position. Phoenix looks like he is basically all in at this point. He needs to get up EMP on that Marv. He gets the EMP, but the problem is for Phoenix, he has to deal with all of these Juggernauts. Juggernauts, while not good versus tripods on the move, those tripods occasionally stand still in situations like that. They were able to kill them. Reaper tripods especially. You don't want to be training Juggernauts versus Reaper tripods, but this is working really well for One Vision. Perhaps One Vision was expecting a Hexapod out of Phoenix, but not to be, and that's going to be GG, I think. I don't think Phoenix has enough to hold this off. BikeRush saying this is a throw, though you have to consider Phoenix has been awake for a long time. He does live in a different time zone. America, the East Coast, or West Coast, I do believe, so he's about 12 hours behind us, or ahead of us, I'm not even sure. I think, yeah, because he's Western Hemisphere, or I don't know, actually. All I know is that his time zone's different, and he's probably very tired because he wasn't probably up. People aren't up at like 12 GMT there. Phoenix going to make one last stand with these units, but I think it's all over for him pretty much at this point. One Vision going to have the army that he needs to kill Phoenix in this game, and One Vision showing that GDI is the better faction versus Skrin, and I kind of do agree with him. There is a few builds that I did in the past also versus Skrin that worked exceptionally well, which also involved the Zone Trooper heads, but he seems to like these Zone Troopers as well. Not getting the upgrade for the Zone Troopers, you should probably consider that as well. Getting that armory for that Power Packs upgrade, he'll be looking really good with that. He'll also, his infantry will be allowed to heal also when idle. Now, this is normally a good idea, flanking with tripods, but when you're versus GDI with zone troopers, you can probably be paranoid that there is going to be zone heads on the way. I'm surprised that there is none hammerheads being produced now by One Vision, but I think One Vision knows that he has this game, so he's just going to play passively. He's not going to sack anything that he doesn't need to. Phoenix right now, he has these last 4 tripods. That's pretty much all he has right now. He has his drone ship as well, but that's about it. One Vision now. He's going to come in with these zone troopers. He's going to find the Devastator warship, but that's not going to be good news for him, seeing that slingshots here not upgraded with the tungsten, unfortunately. One Vision could have got that upgrade a little sooner. The tier 3 will go down, so that will deny any sonic emitters from being placed. Firehawks coming out, though, for One Vision. Going to destroy this Devastator warship. And another one is not being trained by him. Power plant's getting destroyed here. One Vision this may look like a Q move, though he does have his Marv en route to this base. Not a good idea, honestly, unescorting a Marv against a screen player, because he can just close range EMP, especially if he has a commando. He can just use that teleport unit's ability and get that close EMP in. Bass Juggernaut on the way for One Vision. Gonna push right now. Juggernauts, again, not really the unit that I would personally train in this situation. I feel that Juggernauts, Marvs and Mammoth tanks are better in that they can shoot the tripods even when the tripods are on retreat, despite the tripods being slower. It's just really a bad idea, in my opinion, building Juggernauts versus the mass tripod spam. There is not nearly enough tripods, though, to pose any threat to those Juggernauts, though. One Vision accumulating his Juggernaut numbers. And he is going to be, I don't know what he's doing right now. He should probably transition from this that he's doing right now. Go for more zone troopers or something. Getting that tier 3 back out, and he's going to go again for more zone troopers. He did this versus me, and it worked really well. And yeah, this is looking really, really bad for Phoenix. Again, he's surviving a little longer than what I thought. And is One Vision going to push here and knock Phoenix out of this game? Phoenix only has 2 tripods to his name. That is not really enough. He does have an expansion up, though, which means he could be still in it somewhat, but against the Epic unit, by the way, doesn't have 4 garrison slots inside of it, so that's also a problem. He needs an anti-air turret right now because he can get his tripods taken out. I thought those were garrisoned with zone troopers for a moment. They're not going to be. Juggernauts coming in right now. Can Phoenix get a portal down and try and kill these Juggernauts? I mean, he has to rely on a few mistakes from One Vision in this game to kind of do anything here. He's going for the disintegrators. He needs to walk towards the Juggernauts. Good move, by the way. You'll see that the Juggernauts won't be able to do anything. You need to keep moving into the Juggernaut spam, and you can still do something here. Yes, he's focusing down the tripods. This is not what I would have done, Phoenix. I would have gone in for those Juggernauts. And even when the tripods are in the midst of those Juggernauts, the Juggernauts will take friendly fire in that specific instance. Tripods getting destroyed there. It looks like they were spammed by One Vision. Once more, not getting that power packs upgrade, which could be hurting him right here. And Disintegrator squad going all the way to Heroic. Those hammerheads are still lurking around. I did see him micro them away earlier. Gonna destroy this warp sphere as well. And yeah, this is pretty good for One Vision. Can only imagine that Phoenix will throw in the towel very soon. He does have economy, though, so this is one thing going for him right now. He does have his eco. The Marv did die, so maybe I am not seeing this well. Maybe there is a chance after all for Phoenix, considering how he just got that. He repelled that army back. There was only Juggernauts, though. There was no hammerheads. None of that to speak of. And Phoenix, he can probably go for mass. He's going for mass air right now, which is a good move. Mass zone trooper on the cards for One Vision. He needs to watch out for that buzzer storm support power. That can be a problem. All the buzzers, though, getting taken out. And can Phoenix actually make a comeback here? Not really with the mass zone trooper. Does he have a tier 2, though, for the buzzer storm support power? These zone troopers are not split out. If I was One Vision, I would put the zones in a line formation so that the buzzer storm is not going to kill all of them in one go. You can see the tier 2 is up for One Vision. And yeah, this is going to be, looks like they have to push. Yeah, One Vision, I do agree with BikeRush. He has to push right now. Mass buzzers here. It looks like some of them were actually trained from the portal. Phoenix desperately trying to cling on into this game. He's going for Storm Riders, giving the fact away that he's going for Storm Riders. Probably a bit too, he was panicking just then, so he just revealed the fact that he had Storms in that specific instance. Blue Tiberium getting harvested by One Vision, but that's going to quickly change with these Storm Riders. Those Storm Riders are going to allow Phoenix the ability to scout and also to harass harvesters going to that field. And we can see that the Tiberium field is growing here for Phoenix using those growth accelerators. Yeah, this is going to be pretty good. Growth accelerators will actually accelerate the growth of that Tiberium over time. Zone Troopers, though, for One Vision. One Vision, what is he going to do right now? He's going for another Marv. He has 4 Firehawks out, so he can probably bomb the tier 3 if Nash has rebuilt one. Nash has a lot of Tiberium, so we can't really say he's out of it right now. He's going for a Hexapod, so One Vision may have actually lost this game. He's playing too passively right now. He had the game earlier, but he just kind of threw it, I think. And yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. He has 4 Firehawks. He needs to make something happen with those. He doesn't have the upgrade either for those Firehawks. Perhaps getting it now, the Stratifier upgrade, he'll be able to use his Firehawks to bomb something and then teleport out. But I've noticed versus me, he just teleports into the Shard Anti-Air, which is not how you're meant to use Firehawks anyway. Phoenix going to push in with a sizable force here. This is what One Vision was hoping for. He can probably trap some of these units. I can probably imagine that the Stasis Shield is done for Phoenix right now. We're going to check right now. He's not going for any Stasis Shield. If I was him, I'd get that portal down, that Stasis Chamber, and he'll be looking really good. There you go, Phoenix going for that Stasis Chamber so that he can use that Stasis Shield once more. Phoenix picking up on that, which is really good. Phoenix game awareness in this game, really, really good considering how he was looking dead at one point. But yeah, One Vision just playing too passively in my opinion. He's out of Tiberium. He does have 1 spike, or 2 spikes. No, the 1 spike that remains does belong to him. And yeah, he's going for the 4 Firehawks once more. Going to probably bomb the tier 3. I mean, he could probably sneak around here and bomb this tier 3 because it is kind of exposed to anti-air. And oh, getting caught out of position. That is not good either. Those Firehawks will take some damage. And Phoenix looking like he is in the position that One Vision was in about 10 minutes ago. He's managed to mass up all this army here. He hasn't got a rush to really engage right now because he is going to be the screen player. He will have more eco in the long run with those growth accelerators. Speaking of, Phoenix has managed to retain one of them. One Vision early on shown that he could bomb it with an Orca Strike. Maybe he could do the same once more. Let's check his... You can see that his Orca Strike was used earlier, probably for scouting purposes. None of these guys, he's not using his V35s though. You can call for transport on any of your basic infantry and use that as a lightning fast scout. One Vision not abusing that either. Something that I would have definitely done if I was him. And yeah, the only Tiberium that remains is here right now for Phoenix. Phoenix going to get his Hexapod out. He is screened, so he will have the opportunity to Hexalame with his Hexapod. One Vision doesn't have any EMP grenades right now. He has no EMP. Which he has a tripod though, 2 tripods actually, so that's his only form of EMP. Perhaps he's going to just rely on that. These Firehawks need to do something. Tripods flanking around the left side of the map. They're going to find all of One Vision's infrastructure, and One Vision is completely out of position here. The Hexapod is going to distract him. Meanwhile, the Firehawks here are going to spot this army coming, and One Vision is completely out of position. I think he may be getting his base taken out here, and Phoenix somehow going to recover in this game. He's putting Ravagers inside of his Hexapod. I suppose it makes somewhat sense because he is versus Mass Zone Trooper. Not something you would expect this late on in the game for One Vision. He's going to make a push though, but he's going to have nothing versus these mass tripods unless he can get some decent splash with these Juggernauts. What are you doing, One Vision? You need to start focusing down those Juggernauts right now. And yeah, this is not good for Phoenix. He's not moving in with his tripod force, and he's shooting down Gunwalkers when his priority target should be these tripods. You can see they take enormous amount of damage from Juggernaut shells. And wow, these action really heating up here. The Devastator warships being trained for Phoenix. Can One Vision actually do something here? He's going to find the Hexapod in sight, and he's going to clean up the tripod as well. This game is pretty crazy and intense. The mastermind does remain for Phoenix. 2 slingshots on the field for One Vision, and One Vision here, I think with these Juggernauts he might be able to kill this Hexapod though. The Hexapod coming in for the close range EMP. Can Phoenix get that close EMP? No, he cannot. The Juggernauts are they're focused on that Hexapod, and he's going to get it as well. That could be the devastating blow. That could be it for One Vision. This game is crazy. With me calling it several times, I need to stop doing that really, because it is a tournament. Anything can happen in tournaments. I've said that before. But it looked like One Vision had the game, but then kind of played too passively. He didn't make use of his Firehawks. His unit choice was also a little strange in that winning position. He played really defensively when he needed to go on the offensive because Phoenix had all that Tiberium. But what is he doing right now? He's going to have some difficulty versus just a single lone mastermind. The Marv does remain though. That is all that One Vision needs to win this game. The tier 3 is still up for Phoenix, so that is good, but Phoenix has no Tiberium, and Scrin tier 3 units are very expensive. They're going to cost a lot of money to train. One Vision is going to feel pretty good about this. He has won 2-0 versus 2-1 actually versus me. I did throw the first game because I just gifted him my Hexapod, but yeah, we'll forget that. The third game though, he did play well. And it looks like Phoenix in this game is going to lose, unless he has an ace up his sleeve, perhaps a Mothership. I did try to go for a Mothership versus one of my opponents today in the loser bracket. It is a very, very long tournament, though, when it is double elimination. It does last for a while. And Technique, I'm not sure if he's still in it. Probably is. He's probably in the winner bracket. But yeah, I do intend to cast all the games from here on out. No matter how long it goes on for. I probably will start to sound a bit tired later on, but I'm going to see if I can eat something during and in between the games. And One Vision here, going to move in with his Hexapod Phoenix. He has the Storm Rider. He's going for one last-ditch attempt with the Storm Riders, but yeah, just no economy for Phoenix. And this game, really, really good. One Vision coming back from a situation that I thought he had thrown, but yeah, he knew what to do in the end, and he did it. He executed it well. The Juggernauts I actually underestimated versus the Tripods. I was expecting the Tripods to do a lot more versus the Juggernauts. So I guess I have learned something today in that Tripods are not really that bad. I mean, Juggernauts are not that bad versus Tripods. And his base here going to get destroyed. Phoenix going to throw in the towel here. He's going to lift his MCV up. Going to prolong the game a little longer. And that is going to be GG. So One Vision taking a quick, or not really quick, it was a lengthy game. It's going to be a 1-0 victory to One Vision. Playing as a GDI. GDI today has been doing really, really well. I'm surprised, actually. It could be the best faction in the game in R12. We'll never know until the main anniversary tournament. That's when players will be fully practiced and will come with all their strategies and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be 1-0 to One Vision. Nicely done in the end, because Phoenix did have a big resource discrepancy, as you can see. That's going to be a 23-minute length match. So at this rate, it's going to be on for a long, long time, this tournament. Alright guys, Massive here, back to do game number 2 of this best of 3 series with One Vision up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. He's going to be looking to be in a great position here. He is actually match point with Phoenix, so yeah, Phoenix has to win 2 games in this best of 3, while One Vision has only 1 to win. The map is going to be, wow, I really don't know the name of this map. Something battle base something, I'm not entirely certain. I should really check the names of the maps. This is not really a map that I play often. But anyway, we can see down here in the bottom left, it's going to be One Vision playing as the GDI, so retaining his GDI vanilla faction. And over to the right hand, top right, we can see that Phoenix is actually, I almost said Technique because it's a green nod, so yeah, you automatically see him, but it's going to be Technique. But no, it's actually going to be Phoenix. He's going to be playing as non-vanilla. And these guys going to keep changing colors, which is not really convenient for me because I have to do the scoreboards, and yeah, that's kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. We can see it's going to be a little bit of a scouting war here. This rifle squad of One Vision should be able to get it easily. I'm not sure what Phoenix was hoping to achieve there, because he knew that he was against GDI, so he should have known that he couldn't have reached that building before him. But yeah, Phoenix will have One Vision will have the advantage when it comes to scouts. I'm surprised that Phoenix is going for a nod because he was doing really well versus me with GDI. GDI today, like I said before, they are performing better today than what I would have thought. I was expecting a lot of nods to be on the cards for players, but no. I did play versus Phoenix and he just completely trashed my nod. He did some kind of weird timing push with pit bulls. I made 3 refineries and he just attacked me with pits, I think on 5 harvesters, and I couldn't really stop that. I lost 2 of my harvesters, and then, yeah, of course he snowballed out of control from that point. It's going to be stock standard eco though from both of these players. We can see that Phoenix is actually, no, he's going for a rush. I did not cache this actually. Going for that 1 flame tank. Going to go for bikes behind it as well. No Reckoner on the field though. The Blackhand squad is still there, so that means that there is no Reckoner because you would put this Blackhand in the Reckoner. I'd imagine he's going to probably use this Blackhand to burn down the spike, but yeah, this flame tank, questionable if it's going to do anything really. It's going to force Predator tanks, I'd imagine, but no, he's actually going for pit bulls. I don't know why. I mean, 1 Predator tank could easily hold this off and he wouldn't have to overspend also. The bikes are not really a priority target. Sure, they can kill harvesters, but yeah, the flame tank can do more damage to you in a shorter space of time. And wow, yeah, 2 pit bulls going down there for 1 bike. Not a good trade for One Vision. One Vision not holding this off really well, I'd say. And yeah, this shouldn't really work for GD, for Nod, I should say. This really should not work at all. This is something that I'd imagine Dirty Dutch to do. Dirty Dutch has done this build a number of times. He goes for 1 flame tank and then follows it up with bikes. But Dirty Dutch, now, you don't see much of him. It'd be nice to see him get back in form for that anniversary event in February. I do believe the qualifying events will be held in February of next year. So if you want to play in that tournament, then be sure that you're active during that month. And wow, he's going for the barracks here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a secret shrine behind his barracks. No, it's not. Otherwise, it would have cancelled it. 1 rocket squad does come out. Nicely done there by One Vision, taking that racks out. So there's only 1 rocket squad. Phoenix can probably hold this off. I was about to say, if he had a rifle squad in an APC here, he could probably do some major damage there. What is happening on the right hand side? Bikes have tried to poke in. There is a flame tank there. He could probably use the flame tank to kill these, but yeah, it's a bit risky. None of these guys ready to commit. One Vision taking some decent trades, getting a lot of rocket squad with that APC. Shame it wasn't garrisoned with a rifle squad. And over here we can see the spikes getting destroyed. 2 of them going down for One Vision, so over time that is going to hurt One Vision's economy. But Phoenix has his refinery a lot delayed. We can see One Vision over here who has a 2nd harvester on that refinery, so he's going to be looking better economically in this game. He's going to have more eco, which as a GDI player means you can have more units, you can have more Predator tanks, more APCs. I'll be curious to see how One Vision proceeds from here, because he's shown that he's good versus Scrin, but what kind of builds is he going to do versus a Nod faction? And Flame Tank coming into the base. He's going to find that he is already spotted by a Predator tank. That Predator tank will be going down. I mean, the Flame Tank will be going down. And yeah, a bit of background noise, of course. May edit that out, may not. Depends how bad it is. Spike getting destroyed though for Phoenix. He does have the $3,000 cloaking support power to handle infantry because he is vanilla Nod, though I don't think it warrants using that right now on a few rocket squads. He's going to find a harvester here. Really ambitious harvester actually for Phoenix. They're not sure why it's harvesting this field instead of that field. Bit of a mistake. Phoenix might actually be throwing this right now. More harvesters getting built for One Vision. One Vision, he doesn't have 2 ore factories. He needs to start massing units. That's where GDI strength is. It's in its tier 1. He has no tier 1 though. I hope he's not going for a tier 3 because that's simply not going to work for him. 2 ore factories here with AP ammo. He hasn't even begun to research the AP ammo upgrade, by the way, and he's going to be versus upgraded infantry. With this much infantry on the field for Phoenix, he's going to be going for that upgrades right now. He's going to go for the Confessor upgrade and the Tiberium Fusion upgrade. which will allow him to do some major damage. He's going to also be benefiting from the decoy army. If he decoy armies up his infantry, that's going to mean that there's more targets for One Vision's AP ammo. It will prolong the lifespan of those infantry forces. Also, you have redemption support power at your disposal as within a nod, which you can cast on infantry such as the militant rocket squads and militants, and you can get an awakened squad for every militant that dies in that radius, and this spike will survive. Juggernaut's coming out on the field for One Vision. He's going to go for a Marv. This is really odd. I'm not sure why he's not going for AP ammo. He's going for it now, which is good. And this might be hurting him though, because Phoenix is going to do a push here. This push is probably going to do more damage than it should, because One Vision did forget his AP ammo, which could be a big deal. One Vision calling in sniper teams, I think. Yeah, he is, because he knows that he doesn't have that upgrade, though he's not getting attacked from two sides. One Vision, Phoenix I should say, not really capitalizing on the mistakes of One Vision. One Vision going to be allowed to get his Redeemer out. Phoenix, though, he doesn't have a tier 3, he's going strictly tier 1. He needs to get a tier 3 up so he can go for the Redeemer of his own. Maybe one clicks, though. The more Tiberium that is harvested on this map, the less relevant the one clicks will be, because those refineries and harvesters are going to be less and less as time goes on. Bike going to get destroyed here, not necessary. Phoenix throwing some harvesters and bikes away, and yeah, these APCs, he's going to see that they're not upgraded, so he's going to be free to engage them. One Vision shouldn't engage until he has the upgrade, which should be done imminently. Yes, it is now done for One Vision. The Marv is out. It should be able to hold this off. He needs to go for AP ammo right now, but Phoenix is going to be pushed back on that side of the map. Sonic emitters will be able to one-shot infantry, and he should be able to get another decent shot here. If he had tier 3, he could use the redemption, as I was saying, but there are simply not enough forces to kill that Marv. Not nearly enough. And the Tix lab is being trained, but yeah, versus all this infantry, I think that is going to be it. He's not Black Hand nor Mock, so his shoulder types won't have particle beams, which of course would be able to hold this back. Few Scorpion tanks in the mix for Phoenix, so can this actually work for him? He needs to watch, One Vision needs to watch that he doesn't splash down his own APCs with the Juggernauts, which can happen. And yeah, using the redemption a bit too late. He needed it on the right hand side of the map. He's pulling his infantry now towards One Vision, and One Vision going to destroy that disruption tower, and I think he has done it. I think he has actually caused a big upset here, defeating Phoenix in this series. Wow, did not expect that at all. But I do say that, but it looks really bad for Phoenix. Phoenix, he does have something trained, probably a power plant. That's not really good enough. Yeah, not really the ideal barracks placement either, because his infantry will get milked out of it. And we can see over to the right hand side of the map, the Marv is basically untouched. It will clean up this base. The Secret Shrine does still remain for Phoenix, so not selling that off, something that he could have done a lot sooner. He has basically nothing to hold this off, and I think that One Vision has defeated Phoenix in this game. One Vision will be feeling really good about this tournament, going on to the next round, and he will be playing versus Technique. And yeah, that is GG. Well played to One Vision, coming through in this best of 3 series. I did not expect that at all, but it has to be said that Phoenix was up for many hours, I'd imagine. And yeah, I think that affected him. You can see that he wasn't really decisive on what to do. He hasn't played that map too often. One Vision ahead in economy for the majority of the game. And yeah, I'm surprised that Phoenix went down so easily. I was expecting it to be a win for Phoenix, but no, One Vision will be going on to the next series to play Technique. Can Technique do it and reach the grand finals, or can One Vision defeat 3 experts in a row? Stay tuned to find out more. Alright guys, Massive here, coming back to do the finals of the loser bracket, with One Vision coming from his fresh victory versus Phoenix. He can be versus Technique, who also made it to the loser finals. Spoiler, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to see down here playing on the bottom of this Extraction Plateau map. Thank goodness I remembered the map name this time. It's going to be Technique playing as his staple Nod faction, going to be over in the bottom left hand side. Over to the right, we can see One Vision retaining his GDI faction. One Vision wanting to just play on with GDI. GDI I've seen Technique struggle versus Unleashed GDI yesterday. According to Shadowbreak, he did struggle versus him. So it will be interesting to see if Vision can face the might of Tech's Nod, I guess you could say. Technique, he does have a few tricks up his sleeve. He can go for a Flame Rush, though I saw that was largely unsuccessful versus BikeRush, though it was versus BikeRush, so that's probably why, and BikeRush just stops anything. But yeah, just going to try and anti-scout One Vision in this game. He's going to need to pair his militants wherever he goes, otherwise the rifles will be able to kill them easily. And over here, he's a bit of lag also as well. Not sure where that's originating from. I have nothing also in the background. Operations Center on the cards for Technique right now, but can One Vision spot this coming? Not entirely certain. And he will be forcing these scouts away. Over here on the top, we can see that One Vision looks like he's just going to eco up in this game. Wow, what's this lag? I have no bloody idea. I don't think it is me though, because I don't have anything running. Again, these games are casted live, so it probably is me, actually. I have no idea. Anyway, should be gone now. I'm going to go for that 3 refinery. Over here I can see that's just going to check real quick. And one Technique going for a flame tank, so going for that flame tank right now. He's going to find One Vision, going to find this flame tank though. He's going to have the scout in the base, which could be all he needs to know. He's going to be building pitballs after this, possibly to counter this flame tank. He's going to need to counter that flame tank right now. More pitballs on the cards for One Vision. One Vision going to need to unpack his MCV as well, and get that second ref underway, or he could just go for 2 more factories though, because Technique is pretty much committed to making this Flame Rush work. And yeah, I did stutter for a bit there on what to say, because I thought I was causing the lag. It is a tournament, so I didn't want to spoil the fun for these guys. If it was me, I could just quit the game, so that it didn't affect the result, but it looks like the lag is all but gone. We do have BikeRush also here, who is streaming. And the flame tank will get caught here. Can Vision micro his pitballs away? It's going to get 2 pitballs. Oh, that is not necessary at all. And the flame tank has also found the MCV. Really handled poorly by One Vision. I think that is going to be it for One Vision. Losing that MCV, yeah, that is definitely it. And that is gonna be GG, I think, unless he can get his MCV back out. But he has nothing. He has nothing but 2 pitballs to kill that flame tank. That's gonna be GG. So One Vision losing game number 1 versus Technique. Technique taking that in fashion with a Flame Rush. I guess he couldn't be bothered to deal with that lag, so he just went for a Flame Rush. I don't blame him. I probably would have done the same. Making that Flame Rush work. Vision not really focused anymore. Going down in that game to Flame Tank. I actually had the same happen to me in a first-person video versus Technique, and I assumed that he had like 1 Flame Tank, but then another one snuck up behind me, and I'm like, oh shit, he's got 2 Flame Tanks. That can happen. That can happen, certainly. It's all about those mind games. Okay guys, Mastiff here, coming back to do game number 2 of this best of 3 series on the map Tiberium Rift, which was chosen by One Vision, who did lose the last game. So loser pick. He's going to be up here playing as the purple Nod faction. And over to the bottom right here, we can see Technique, who is loving it right now because he is playing a Nod Mirror. This is the one matchup that he likes to play. And he is going to be down here playing as Nod, of course. He's going to be going for that refinery first because, of course, militant scouts early on in the Nod Mirror. Not going to do too much to the opponent. So Technique making the appropriate play here. It looks like One Vision didn't do that, though. He's going for a power plant first build instead. I'd imagine that Technique's going to go for a power plant first. I mean, a buggy first to scout One Vision to see whether or not One Vision's going for an all-in. That's the one thing that he has to deduce this early on in the game is a One Vision coming out of my opponent. Wow, an all-in coming out of my opponent. Wow, I'm really getting muddled up with my words today. Yeah, Technique, interesting to see. I really do think he's going to play stock sand in this game because he's quite comfortable to play those long games with Scorps v Scorps. He is one of the best players, if not the best player, at that specific matchup. And it looks like these guys are just mirroring each other with the small exception of Technique going for refinery first. So they're going to meet in the middle, buggy versus buggy. They're going to actually see what's going on. They're going to know by this buggy that their opponents is more or less going to be ecoing up in this game. Looks like bikes coming out for Technique, so looking to do some pressure with these bikes. Interesting, but I do think this can get forted easily by One Vision. Buggy will get cleaned up. This will deny One Vision the scouting information later on to know whether or not Technique's going for 4 War Factories or not, and actually blocking the MCV with the buggy. He'll be spamming the S key on that. I think that's actually prohibited in the anniversary event. There is a lot of new rules added in the game for that event in particular, because Phantom wants it to be bug free, exploit free, though I imagine that isn't really classified as an exploit. It's just one of those things, though it is really annoying when it happens, especially when it's intentional. I think it maybe could be considered an exploit, but buggy's not really the units I would be training, honestly, from the War Factory, because you'll be able to trade endlessly with bikes and not lose any bikes in the process. One buggy does remain for One Vision, and Technique just can go straight for it. This is going to be all that Technique needs for these bikes to pay off. And wow, these buggies doing absolutely no damage. So yeah, Technique in this game, he's going for 2 War Factories maybe right now. It looks like he is. He's going for that 5th Harvester. Usually he goes for an all-in on 4. But this game, opting to go for that 5th, perhaps he could send 1 to the blue field. One Vision, meanwhile, looks like he's struggling to hold versus this rush that Technique's done. Technique, it looked like he had 3 bikes only, but then he kept reinforcing with more bikes. I think One Vision was expecting the bike production to cease, but no. Forcing BikeRush to overspend, One Vision to overspend there. One Vision on 5 Harvesters. He's going to go for 2 War Factories. I'd imagine Technique, though he is on 2 War Factories, spamming out that bike buggy. He's going to have full reign over the map. He can probably send a Harvester to the blue Tiberium field and get that blue Tiberium, and that is probably going to be GG here. The 3rd Refinery does come down for One Vision, and that is going to be it. I think you just cannot go for a 3rd Refinery versus Technique in a Nod Mirror, because you can set your watch to a 4 half 2 War Factory all-in. And yeah, that is exactly what happened. 1 buggy here, but that's all that's going to be enough to kill all the rockets coming out of this barracks here. And he needs to focus down those the bikes doing the damage that they need to, killing the Harvester out of the refinery. This will not make this refinery pay off at all. One Vision just doesn't have the units. He's actually sacking his units away to kill these bikes. One Technique going for more bikes of his own. He has a pretty decent economy, going for the blue Tiberium as well, so he will be able to recover from this easily. And yeah, I think this is pretty much GG for One Vision. He's going to have more Harvesters out in the way. This one actually idle up here. And buggies on the field for Technique. Just going to clean up all of One Vision's units, and One Vision needs to go for a secondary War Factory right now. There is another Harvester here for the taking. One Technique is definitely going to go for it, and I think Technique was happy to see that One Vision won, because I think Phoenix, when he is in form, is a much harder and more lethal opponent, and perhaps it was a mistake going Nod. And yeah, this is it. This is going to be GG. One Vision will be going down in this series 2-0, so I actually know it is a best of 3, my bad. I did say in the beginning that it was, so Technique going to be on to the grand final. He's going to secure himself a cash prize of $50, so he has won something regardless of the fact that he did lose versus Bike earlier, and that is going to be a GG. So Technique, can he do it versus BikeRush in the grand finals? It's going to be a best of 7 or a best of 5. We'll find out. BikeRush is making these rules as the tournament goes on. He didn't outline it all in his tournament discussion thread. He'll probably be deciding now whether or not he wants to make it a best of 5 or 7. So yeah, well played to Technique coming through in that rather short best of 3 series, and we're going to be going on to the grand finals right now, so stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys, Masleaf here, back to do the grand final of BikeRush's Christmas 1 vs 1 tournament, and the starting map will be Extraction Plateau, with Technique down here playing as the Vanilla Nod. He's going to be behind 1-0 in this best of 7 series because he is in the loser bracket. So yeah, playing as Vanilla Nod, and scrolling up to the top right hand side of this map, we can see BikeRush is going for the Skrin faction. Now we saw BikeRush earlier in his previous series versus Technique go for Skrin, and it worked really well versus Technique, because Bike's Nod Mirror versus Technique, he's not too confident with it, because Technique, of course, that's his best faction matchup. He loves his Nod Mirrors, and you can't really blame Bike for deciding to go for Scrin. So we're going to see how this goes for Bike. I think Bike's just going to play reactionary to Technique. He needs to get eyes on what Technique is doing in his base. He's going to go for four buzzers by the look of things. Not got anything over on the right hand side. It's basically imperative for BikeRush to scout and see whether or not a Flame Rush is on the cards for Technique. Is Technique just going to play stock standard eco, or is he just going to go for a Flame Rush? I think he's going to go for eco here, but what he'll be doing is he'll be aiming to anti-scout BikeRush as well. BikeRush coming in with two buzzer scouts. In fact, he's going to be able to see all that's coming here. He's going to see that the harvesters and refineries are being built, and he's not going to be in no rush to defend versus anything. He's going to be quite confident to eco up in this game. Him up here being Scrin, he's going to have Devourer tanks if a Flame Rush was going to be the case for Technique. Technique going to pop down his second refinery. And no disintegrators out on the map either for BikeRush, of course. Not really wise going for Descents when the automatic response to them is, of course, a flame tank. And these guys just going to play eco in this game. BikeRush powering down one of his refineries just so that his harvesters can train a little faster from his war factory. He'll still be on low power though, but it'll be allowing him to get his harvesters out a little sooner. Technique doing the same. He's going to expand also on one power plant. I couldn't tell you, to be honest, whether or not it's beneficial as Scrin or GDI to expand on one power plant. However, I know for a fact that with Nod it is, because it takes 3 power plants to expand without going on low power as Nod, so you're better off just doing it at 1 power plant. Scouts getting cleaned up regardless, and yeah, they're just keeping one another scouted. They just want to play it safe right now. I can't blame them. It is a grand final. There was $100 on the line, by the way, in this game. Technique has secured $50 though, because he is second regardless. I mean, we don't know if he's second, but the second place will have $50, so yeah, Technique over here, he's just going to eco. Really odd actually. Usually you see him go for like a 2-war factory all in, but he probably knows that it's not going to work too well versus BikeRush. He's going to play stock standard eco. He's probably had time to think how he's going to proceed with this matchup, because there was a break before. The guy probably has all of his strategies planned. He probably was eating dinner, because we didn't eat today, because this tournament lasted for like 7 hours. And he probably went over what he's going to do in this final versus BikeRush. Technique just going to go for Scorpion tanks. I probably think he's going for laser capacities. He's probably going to be like, okay, I'm versus Scrin Vanilla, and the one thing that Scrin Vanilla is very, very vulnerable to is those laser capacitor Scorpion tanks. BikeRush not bothering to go for any kind of pressure. No Seeker tanks on the cards for him. He's going for 4 refineries. He's going to have 10 harvesters. 10 and 2. So he's going to be cleaning up his Tiberium relatively quickly. He needs to get more production structures down. Otherwise, he won't be able to sink that cash that he's going to be coming in very soon. There is no blue Tiberium field on this map. So if you have map control or map presence with early Scorpion tanks, it's not going to be as devastating if you're base contained as in a map like Rift, where you lose the blue Tiberium. The opponent gathers that blue tib while you're busy defending versus him. On this map, no, that's not the case. The only thing you can do really is kill this spike, which is what Technique's doing. This is the only advantage you can really leverage on the map. And he's going to go for it. Of course, Technique being the author of this map, you'd imagine that he knows how to play this map really well. Buzzer going to get cleaned up here, which is good. Is that a heroic buzzer? Militant? No, it's not. Just going to be elite. Spike going down. That could matter in the grand scheme of things later on. Spike coming down for BikeRush. Is he going for a tier 2? Perhaps he's going for a signal transmitter. Sorry, a stasis chamber. He's going to stasis this tier 2. This would cancel the tech. This would be a brilliant stasis, by the way, because it would cancel the tier 2, the tier 3, and Technique would be in all sorts of trouble. You could get the MC, the refinery, the war factory, the refinery, everything. That would be pretty crippling. But we've got a little strike force over here. Technique, I can imagine, has eyes on it. We're going to look at his view to see what kind of shroud he has revealed here. He has a militant squad here, which he will be able to use to reveal that. And his tech is vulnerable to that. Technique coming up here, he's going to be distracted by that. Meanwhile, we can see BikeRush owns over on the right hand side, going to flank Technique in the bottom, and yeah, Technique should be onto this though. He doesn't have laser capacitors done. He's going to get caught out of position over here in a moment. Can Technique Can Technique identify that he's going to be harassed over here in a moment? There is 4 harvesters, 5 harvesters on this Tiberium field. That is not good. Technique, you need to move your harvesters right now. And Technique maybe... Oh, he's going to lose his harvesters here. He needs a Shredder turret queued now, but his MCV is actually deployed. He's just noticed now as well. That was really bad awareness by Technique. Technique, he has a flame tank over there. Going to respond now to this attack, but this attack, you know what? I think it's paid off. He's going to kill 2 harvesters. 2 harvesters going down for the Technique. And that is really bad for Technique. Technique not transferring his harvesters sooner as well. That's not good. Can this tier 3 survive though? If it goes down, that'll cancel the laser capacitors, which is a massive deal. Or is he going to save it though? Yes, he is. BikeRush realizing that at the last moment. Not going to sack all of his units there for nothing. And laser capacitor is coming online for Technique. He'll be loved to seeing that. Tripod's out on the field now for BikeRush owns. And he's going to go for... Wow, he's actually packing up his drone ship. Not sure what he's hoping to achieve there. Maybe he thinks that... Yeah, I get why he done that, because his MCB is pretty much out exposed. And wow, Technique, he needs to... Does he know that his MCV is going to come under fire in a moment? Looks like BikeRush's MCV will be momentarily under fire. Of course, you can't EMP a MCV and not MCV with a tripod, because it is resistant to that single EMP. And phasing that drone ship in the last moment, saving that drone ship from dying. BikeRush owns saving his build queue. And is this going to be a base trade? I think it's going to be a full-on base trade. Technique, you can definitely not win the base trade because the MCV is out on flying. He's instead opting to go for BikeRush, but BikeRush has loads of disintegrators. That is not really wants to be saying here. He has these descents. He's going to move them towards his old cloaking field. Comes down for Technique. Technique moving in with his Scorpion tank army, but can Technique do anything? BikeRush's MCV is still safe and sound here. Technique left some forces at home to try and clean that up, but no, he's actually quite content with this army here. BikeRush owns he's going to get all these tanks taken out. There is no concave to speak of for Technique, and I think, you know what, I think that is going to be it for Technique. I don't think he has enough to hold this off. He is trying though, but that's not enough. Using the decoy army to force some more shots off on those tanks, but yeah, the economy is all but gone for Technique, and I think that is it for Technique. I don't think Technique has anything up his sleeves in this game. That is GG. And wow, BikeRush owns defeating Technique in that game, being up 2-0 in this best of 7, because of course, as I mentioned in the start, he is going to start with that 1-0 advantage for winning the winner bracket, and Technique coming through, beating many players in the loser bracket, going to be 2-0 behind in this best of 7, which is a big deal. Technique behind in eco, getting caught by surprise by those Seeker tanks in his original base. He wasn't paying attention there. So Technique behind 2-0 in this best of 7 series. Can he bring this tournament back? It's going to be him down here playing as the Nod once more. There is no faction limitations aside from the players only allowed to pick vanilla factions only. But yeah, Technique will be playing as the Nod faction here. Going to be Nod, and scrolling up to the top of the map we can see BikeRush owns up here playing as the Scrin faction once more. So BikeRush, it's unusual to see a Scrin faction from him, but again, it's working really well for him. He's not, he's going to use these buzzers to try and kill Technique's engineer, but Technique too good for that. Going to escort his engineer with a couple militant squads, and Technique, is he go for an all-in in this game? I say it might be the time to go and strafe away from those stock standard builds and venture out a little bit towards those other tactics like all-ins. I think Technique needs to get himself a quick game so he can restore some confidence in this best of 7 series, though I have seen Technique come back from incredible odds in the past. I've seen him play versus Bike in a tournament a long time ago, and he was behind 3-0 or 2-0 or something like that. I mean, BikeRush was behind 3-0, and then BikeRush was winning 3-0, and then Technique came back and won like 4 games in a row versus Bike. I thought that was pretty crazy. So we can't say that Technique is out of it. Even if he does not do well in this game, he has the chance of breaking Bike's confidence. And of course, BikeRush is one of those guys who does get nervous a little bit in tournaments. I have witnessed firsthand that is the case. Technique going to move in with some bikes, but BikeRush, I think, you know what, he's too good for that. He's going to probably move in. And yeah, BikeRush not going for a portal to train those disintegrators. BikeRush, of course, loves his Pank disintegrators. Harvester getting cancelled there for some Seeker tanks. Can Technique actually do any damage here? He only has 2 bikes. Gunwalker out for BikeRush. That is not what you want to see from BikeRush. That is the same mistake that Vision made in the second game of that best of 3 series. We saw him make buggies, but they just don't have the DPS versus the bikes. You cannot kill the bikes with the Gunwalkers quick enough. And the 1 harvester goes down, and that is pretty much GG for Bike, I think, because he has 2 harvesters here. Technique, though, he is on 3 harvesters, I think. Yeah, he is. So he's going to have a nice advantage there. He's not over, but versus a guy like Technique, I know from experience that if you lose your harvester in that spot, you aren't going to be doing too well, especially versus Technique's late game where he masses laser capacitor Scorpion tanks. You just need to have more awareness this time so he doesn't get caught by surprise by those Descent Seekers. And nice micro, by the way, from Technique, pulling back his bikes. If we bring up the help bars, we can see the micro of these guys. BikeRush also doing the same, but can Technique split a buggy off here to kill the Gunwalker? Yes, he can. And that will be going down. So nice effort from Technique. The micro here is definitely on point for him. And this game, BikeRush owns just going to eco in this game. No, he's going for a tier 2. So maybe looking to just bam Mechapede. Mechapede probably a decent counter to what Bike's doing. I mean, what Technique's doing. Anyway, Technique doesn't have any more aggression following. It seems he doesn't have anything on the map. He only has that 1 buggy. Is he going for a secondary war factory here? No, he's going for a refinery. So 3 refineries up for Technique. BikeRush is going to have those Mechapedes out soon, or did he just cancel his tier 3? It may have looked like it's been cancelled, but you can actually pause your building and it looks like it's been cancelled. So I'd imagine he has something here, otherwise it'll be really weird. I don't think Bike's knowing that he's not building anything, though he may be saving some money up for a lightning spike, but oh my god, Technique, what are you doing? You have those units there. Wow, I thought for a moment that Technique was going to lose his harvester. He definitely will. BikeRush pays attention. He's going to split his 2 Seekers away to try and kill that. And yeah, a sacked harvester here for Technique. Not really what you want to see. But harvester here also idle. That can get back to work really quickly. Technique maybe feeling a bit of pressure here. He's going to order that harvester back quickly. And can he hold this off? There is a lightning spike here. The repair drone's also getting casted for BikeRush owns. BikeRush probably teching up behind this, getting Mechapedes out. And I don't think that Technique's going to hold versus Mechas. Technique does have a lot of eco, so if he holds this off, he will be looking really good. But BikeRush cleaning up these Scorpion tanks. The Technique needs to micro well, though. He's got 3 Scorpion tanks out, so he should be able to hold this off. BikeRush owns. What is he doing? He's got a refinery down. He's not going for tech, which could be a mistake. I reckon he needed to keep this pressure up and go for Mechas, but I think it's slipping further and further away for BikeRush. He has more reinforcing Seeker tanks, actually, so no, this is actually looking good. The Scorpion tanks aren't where they need to be around the war factory. This could be bad for BikeRush. For Technique. I think Technique is struggling to hold this off, actually. I'm not sure if he can actually hold this off right now. He's going for a barracks, but Buzzer Swarm hasn't been used yet, and 2 harvesters may be going down for Technique. 3 harvesters may be going down, and this Seeker push is looking really, really good for BikeRush owns. That had no right to do that much damage. And that was a lot of damage dealt there for BikeRush owns, but wow, Technique's defense was not good in that situation. 1 more Scorpion tank looking like it will go down to the lightning spike, but can he get it though? No, he cannot. And wow, Technique, that was what BikeRush needed to come back in this game. BikeRush now is ahead in this game, going for a tier 3. Does he already have it? No, he does not. He's going for a gravity stabilizer, maybe for some aircraft. I don't think Technique will see that coming, considering how he's going for Scorpion tanks. Technique needs to get eyes on that base. Going for the 3 war factories. Is Technique going to sell his MCB and go for this 3 war factory push? But yeah, Technique just going to get his eco back up to scratch. He's going to see that BikeRush is harvesting here. Nice awareness of BikeRush, knowing that there's an opportunity for him to harvest that Tiberium. And that is going to give him a nice buffer in this game. BikeRush owns. He's going for the Storm Riders, but can Technique actually scout this? He has got infantry. He's going for Scorpion tanks. Doesn't look like he's informed of the Storm Riders, which will be imminently at him. There is only 1 or 2 on the field so far. Technique, he is definitely going to find his Scorpion tanks to be destroyed soon if these gather up in numbers. Seeker tanks coming over here to put some pressure on Technique. Technique has seen this a mile away though, so he should be able to stop those. And BikeRush just going to eco up in this game. He maybe feels that he's going to get harassed in the bottom, but not to be. BikeRush still hasn't used his stasis shield. That is one thing that he could use right now. Technique seems to be aware that there is some of that coming. Oh, Seeker tanks have made their way into the base. Of course, the speed difference between Seekers and Scorpion tanks is negligible. I actually think the Scorpion tanks are a little slower than the Seekers. More of these are going to get taken out, and I don't think Technique's going to lose any more harvesters. A lot of donated Seekers there, though. He did kill one harvester for his efforts. More this Storm Riders here. The one Seeker tank is going to reveal the harvester for BikeRush, and going to focus down some of these bikes BikeRush owns here. He's going for a tier 3. He's trying to put as much pressure on as possible to Technique. Technique, though, if he's allowed to recover here, he's going to be looking really good. He's going for the laser capacitor upgrade, and BikeRush has no tech to speak of. Harvester leeching the blue Tiberium. But Technique not out of this yet. He does have 3 harvesters, 5 harvesters. He needs to get some more harvesters back out, and he will be looking fine. BikeRush needs his tech. I don't think Storm Riders is the right option because, of course, Technique has or will have the laser capacitors, which will give his buggies a nice edge versus air. In fact, buggies do benefit the most versus air when they get laser capacitors, because the damage scaler versus air increases like 3-fold. And can Technique identify that there is Storm Riders here? Oh, the Technique really not have the map awareness. He's being put... Oh my god, can Technique actually do anything here? The Storm Riders, they are doing damage. Can Technique micro his harvesters? He needs to micro them. Technique, your harvester. Oh my god, that was not really necessary. Technique not playing too well in this game. Not the best performance I've seen from Technique, to be honest. So Scorpion tanks coming in here. More harvesters being destroyed for Technique. This is not really what you want to see. Harvesters being destroyed for Technique when there is no need to. There is plenty of air, anti-air for Technique. He does have Seekers, Raider buggies, and stealth tanks to handle this. But can this avatar solo versus all these Devourer tanks? Probably not. Technique does have his economy over here. BikeRush, he needs his tech. And he's continuing to go for the air, but you know what? I think this will slip further and further away from BikeRush if he continues to go for air, because I said those buggies are very, very good versus air. They are. And Technique, he's going to probably go... Oh, he needs to remember his harvester here. That's doing nothing. That could hurt him in the long run. I'd imagine he'll probably fix that soon. BikeRush, is he going to go for this blue Tiberium field, or is he just going to leave it to replenish some tip before he does that? Technique, I'd imagine he's going to go for another War Factory, because he does have that upgrade. He does have the upgrades he needs to push BikeRush. Storm Riders, yeah, what are these Storm Riders going to achieve? They can go for the power plants. None of them are upgraded except this one. Still worth it though, in my opinion. He doesn't know where the stealth tanks are. The stealth tanks could be in Bike's base right now. There is Seekers though, so BikeRush is onto them if that's the case. Stealth tank getting destroyed though by the Devourer tanks. And yeah, it looks like Technique BikeRush doesn't want Technique to know what he's doing, but BikeRush, I will say that he's probably taking up right now. Yeah, he is. He's going for the tripod spam. Yeah, this will probably be the death of Technique. He's going for avatars. When you have the laser capacitor Scorpion tanks, is it really wiser to go for avatars? I'd say not really. He's going for infantry now, probably going for the upgrades as well. Though BikeRush does have support powers that he can use to his advantage. He does have the Buzzer Swarm support power. You can also stasis. Oh, using the Buzzer Swarm support power to reveal that harvester. Of course, infantry do reveal stealth units in a short radius, and that power plant will be going down. Technique driving all over the place right now. BikeRush has got him scrambled right now, and this is not looking too good for Technique. I don't think Technique is really coordinating well. More harvesters going to get destroyed. Yeah, Technique, these Storm Riders, I don't think he was expecting more of them to be built. He knew, BikeRush knew that Technique had the lace capacitors, so I guess it's the mind games really. You wouldn't expect Storm Riders in a million years, but yeah, Technique, he has his whole base revealed, and going for that stasis shield, that's just even more demoralizing for Technique. BikeRush has tripods. He is got 4 of them already, with the shields upgrade just being completed. But Technique does have a big army here. He does have a lot of avatars, many avatars in fact. So yeah, if he plays this game like Senna and just masses units, he should be okay. But Technique, he still doesn't have eyes. The Stasis Shield maybe was not a good idea. Oh, the Commando, though, gets the MCV, the wormhole. That is pretty devastating, though there is one War Factory only for Technique, so yeah, he needs to rebuild that MCV immediately. The Commando does still remain, so he can still teleport units into the front line. The Buzzstorm support power once more still not being used. This is all that Technique has right now, is these units, but BikeRush owns, you know what, I think he has what he needs. He knows that there is no air tower out on the map for Technique, so this Mastermind is safe and sound. The only thing that he has to be concerned of is those buggies, though. Technique gonna probably push in here, but there is more reinforcing tripods at home. Devastator warships and planetary assault carriers out on the map for BikeRush. BikeRush seems to be quite confident of this game. Spamming out those planetary assault carriers. Of course, the force field generators do benefit them as well. Storm Riders just picking off any units that they can find. This Avatar will get stealth, though, I guess, because Technique didn't have more than one War Factory. He's got a lot of money floating right now. And yeah, Technique going to be pushed out. I think BikeRush owns going to move in with his planetary assault carrier, tripod, and Devastator warship force. The Storm Rider is getting sacked here, which is not really necessary. Technique needs to microlight a god here if he wishes to hold this off. BikeRush not going to commit, though. Again, I think that Stasis Shield would have meant the death of Technique there and then, but BikeRush got a bit cocky using it on the MCV, which was not really the best move in my opinion. Devastator warship, though, it is going to help versus the infantry squads. It does have splash damage, very, very effective versus Black Hand, but Technique, yeah, I don't think that mass Avatar was the answer. If he went for lace capacitor Scorpion tanks, he would have had the mobility in this game. He could have been able to answer what Technique had. He could have also made Venoms as well to kill that Mastermind. One thing that was hurting him, and yeah, the Venoms are out on the field for Technique, getting 4 of them out now, and he should be able to kill that Mastermind. It has a planetary assault carrier for anti-air support, but that's about it. The Avatars will make one last stand here, but yeah, the planetary assault carriers are just too powerful for those Avatars. Packs generally not good versus units that move and shoot, but against those units such as Juggernauts and Avatars that need to stop while they shoot, the packs do incredibly well. The drones are a lot less buggy and can target much better. That's going to be 3-0 in favor of BikeRush. And wow, BikeRush is pretty much on match point here in this best of 7. So is this going to be another whitewash for BikeRush, or can Technique actually bring this back? I guess, well, seeing how it's going so far, I don't really know. I feel that Technique, I dare to say it, but I just feel that he's getting outplayed here by BikeRush. He needs to do better next game. He probably needs to go for a rush, a 2 War Factory all in. That's the ace up his sleeve. He needs to do some of that or something else that can bring this series back. But right now what he's doing is not working. Ecoing up versus Bike just seems to not be working for Technique. Okay guys, game number 4. Well, this is actually technically game number 4 because I said that Bike is up 1-0 due to him winning the winner bracket, but technically it is somewhat of the third game of this cast. It's going to be BikeRush, or Technique, sorry, in the bottom right hand corner of Tournament Arena. Of course, this was picked by Technique. This is Technique's favorite map, so no surprises there. All maps are permitted, by the way. I do think BikeRush had a pretty sizable map pool. Of course, GR tournaments lately have only allowed the new maps in their tournaments. That's how we haven't seen many of the older maps on their events. Though we did see in the 3v3 tournament that we did see some maps like 6 Shooter Showdown, which of course is the case because there aren't many 3v3 maps which are custom and in the R12 map pack. So up here we can see BikeRush owns going to retain the Skrin faction. He's going to be red once more, retaining their colors, these guys. So yeah, that's going to help me again in the editing. I don't need to edit out anything in particular. And BikeRush just going to get a free scout off in this base. Technique, I don't think he's going to anti-scout this. BikeRush going to split his buzzers up though, just so that one Shredder turret can't splash down all of those buzzers. And the one thing that I feel BikeRush is going to do on this map versus Tech is go for a Devourer tank push with an MCV move. I think Tech has to be wary of that, though Tech I have found in the past to not hold it off really well. I've done this build versus Tech and it worked really well. This was many years ago though, and BikeRush here, He is just going to probably do that, I imagine. Expanding on one power plant. I have no idea, once more, if that is good on as Skrin or GDI, but it seems to work for him, though I feel that many factors are involved to bike winning. It's not just him expanding on one power plant. I don't feel that he's playing optimally. I just feel that he is best at the game right now, and he's just outplaying everyone. That's pretty much how I see it. But technique, is he going to go for an all-in here? Looks like he's going for a refinery, so not bothering to even punish BikeRush's expansion. BikeRush actually going for an expansion of his own, because you can see that his drone ship taking a while to build whatever it's building, so it's not going to be a tier 2. The only other thing it would be is a tier 2 for that dev push that I mentioned beforehand. And that's going to be pretty bad for Tech, because I think that Tech was expecting a dev core move from Bike, and he was probably quite confident in holding it off that way. But no, it looks like Technique going for 2 ore factories, though, is going to get spotted immediately by BikeRush owns. Technique a bit delayed in that. Descents up in the top of the map, going to get cleaned up. Not sure how many descents BikeRush trained, wasn't too focused on that. And this game, Technique has to make something happen. Going for the barracks, the portal. This will force out a lot of buggies, which is not really going to do anything to halter Bike's economic advantage in this game. And what is Technique going to do? He's going to move his MCV forward, because he feels that if he moves his MCV forward, he can place down shredder turrets and kill those. But I think that BikeRush just going to go for a tier 2 and spam those Devourer tanks and photon cannons and just not make many more disintegrators and hold this off. I don't think this push is going to work for Technique in this game. I just don't see it happening. Technique going for a tier 2 for the dozer blades, but you know what? It's going to be a long while away from those actually kicking in and doing anything. Devourer tanks are already out. Meanwhile, for BikeRush, no, not yet, though it will be soon. He has 2 ore factories now. And BikeRush just needs to ensure that his power is online and he has photon cannons. I actually defended a similar build of Unleashed in Kane's Rife World Championship, but I didn't have Devourer tanks. You know what? It's even worse if you have Devourer tanks for the Nod player. So I just don't see this happening, but we will see. BikeRush going for Seeker tanks, which is really peculiar actually. I would have imagined he'd go for Devourer tanks. Charged up, and definitely. They're going to be kiting those Scorpion tanks all day long. Technique has to make something happen here though, because if he doesn't, then BikeRush has just got this Tiberium field under his control. Technique hasn't got an expansion though. Technique just doesn't have the forces here to really push BikeRush. BikeRush has these photon cannons, which are really annoying for Technique. And a third photon cannon coming on. Oh yeah, this is not a good idea. Attacking into a line of photon cannons. This is not going to work for Technique. Getting most of his Scorpion tanks picked off. War factory placement, not really sure if that was a good one either. BikeRush needs to make sure these tanks are charging up constantly. He has more photon cannons queued. I do think that this is not going to work for Technique. This is all falling apart for Technique actually. The line of photon cannons is actually may do it for BikeRush. And I feel he could have probably gone around the other side of the base. This part of the base was actually undefended, though it is less relevant now because the Tiberium there is actually all but dry. And 4 Devourer tanks out now for BikeRush. That number is only going to increase from this point onwards. And Technique, he has no Tiberium at his base, so what is he going to do now? Is he going to sell his MCV? He seems like he wants another shredder turret down before he does that, just in case BikeRush decides to go for another portal to panic disintegrators. But now I can see him selling it. The war factory will get destroyed, I think. One harvester goes down, but you know what? The attention needs to be focused here. BikeRush going for another portal, and he's also going for air. Looks like he's quite committed with that air switch. There is no anti-air on the field for Technique, so this may be all that Bike needs to win. And I think he's also sold his drone ship as well. Wow, interesting choice. I don't think Technique saw that sell. Let's check to his vision here. I don't think he did. He cannot see those gravity stabilizers, so he's probably assuming that there is more Devourer tanks underway or a refinery. I guess he's hoping for that to happen, but yeah, he's going to be very surprised to see the Storm Riders coming out of BikeRush. He's not going to reveal the fact that the Storms are out on the map just yet. He's going to wait till he has all 8 Storms, and then he's going to surprise Tech, and I don't think Tech, being on tier 1, is going to have anything to stop that. Buggies are not going to do anything. Bike Buggy really terrible versus Storm Riders, and that's going to be GG. I can see Technique calling the GG here with all these Scorpion tanks. They're going to do absolutely nothing versus this. They're going to trade versus things like power plants, but you know what? Technique doesn't have any economy behind this. BikeRush, meanwhile, does have 1 ref on this expansion. He has blue tip that he can harvest. And I think this is going to be it. I think BikeRush has taken this tournament 4-0. So unfortunately, another series on my channel that resulted in a complete whitewash of the other player. I guess one day I'll be fortunate enough to cast a finals live where it is not this way. Maybe myself even, I can play better and end up in a better position. Maybe not lose to One Vision. That would be also a good start. But yeah, One Vision definitely deserving his victory over me. And yeah, Technique wondering why BikeRush had funds for that. And the reason why he did is because Technique's War Factory was a little bit delayed. He should have gone for that 2 War Factory all-in on that first field. He tried to fake out that he was going for a refinery, but BikeRush too good for that. The mind games, in all honesty, was what allowed BikeRush to win that game. And that's going to be it. That's going to be the tournament. BikeRush taking it 4-0. So unfortunately for Technique, not winning that event, though he did make it to the finals. So kudos to that, I guess. He did make it to the finals. He beat some players along the way. One Vision, Phoenix included. So yeah, well-deserved final second place to Technique. I don't believe there's a third place playoff in this tournament. If there is, then it's probably already underway and done. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast and the finals of this tournament. Well done to BikeRush Jones for winning, and yeah, I guess we're getting closer and closer to the anniversary event, which will be in February. Got to stay tuned for that, because games are going to be getting much more interesting, I'd imagine, closer to that event. We'll have more practice from guys like myself, of course, and Phoenix and One Vision. Senna should have actually participated in this event as well. I'm surprised he didn't. He is actually an upcoming player that I'd say will do really well in events. He did beat Technique and BikeRush in a ladder wars 2 months ago, so he definitely has the potential to cause an upset. So yeah, with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I will bring in more cast to you and FPV footage. I did record my games in the tournament, though I'm not sure if I'll post them because they are pretty bad. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. This is Master Leaf. Peace out.